All right. So here is chapter 8 and 8.6 and 8.7, which is solve radical equations. And we're going to be, and 8.7 is use radicals in functions. So first, the power rule. And we're going to start with an example for this one. So we have y minus 7 equals to 5. And the power rule says that if we, let me write it down, the power rule says that if A is equal to B, then A to the n power and B to the n are equal. That's what the rule says. So for this one, to solve for y, we need to get rid of the radical. But now here's the question. Here's a question. What operation is the opposite of a square rooting? Sorry. Let me write it down. What operation is the opposite of a square rooting, meaning the square root? Here's the answer. Squaring, right? So if we let n be equal to 2, I'm talking about here, n equal to 2, or we square both sides of the equation, we will maintain equality. So we square both sides of the equation, we will maintain equality. Good morning. Okay, so we started with, sorry, hold on. Eight 8.6 and 8.7. So solve radical equations and use radicals in functions. So the power rule says that if A is equal to B, then A squared is equal to B squared. So what's the opposite of a square rooting? Opposite of the square root, squaring. And when we square both sides of the equation, we will maintain the equality. So let's do that. Let's take this y minus 7 And we're going to square both sides. So square, there we go. If we do that, so what happens there? The square root goes away, and what we have is y minus 7. 5 times 5 is 25. We're going to add 7 on both sides, and we have y equals to 32. But we need to check the answer, so let's do it. And an answer was y equals to 32. So we have 32 minus 7. We need to find out if this is true. So 32 minus 7 is 25. And what's the square root of 25? 5. So it's okay, right? So this is the answer. Now, let's do another one. This one. We have 2x squared plus 10 equals to 4. The first thing that we need to do there is to isolate the radical on one side of the equal sign, if possible. So first, isolate the radical on one side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's do it. And we get a square root of 2x equals to -6, right? Now, what do you guys notice there? We notice something different, right? Right here, the positive square root cannot be or cannot produce a negative answer. There's no way. So let me write it down right here. The positive square cannot produce a negative answer. Remember, it's a square root, this one cannot be negative. So what we say here is that x doesn't have a solution, okay? Or we could write it as empty brackets, or like this. All right. Now, if you guys don't have, you don't see it right away, and then you square both sides, let's do it in a piece of paper, this one. So let's say, and we square both sides. We don't realize that it cannot. So we get 2x, and this is going to be 36, right? And x will be 36 divided by 2, 18, right? And when we go to check this, 18. So let's go up here. That will be 2 times 18 plus 10. We're going to check and see if it's equal to 4. So what do we have? 2 times 18 is 36 plus 10. Square root of 36 is 6 plus 10. 16 is not equal to 4. So even it happens that we do not see it right away. When you get the answer and you check the answer, you find that there's no answer, no solution. So you just write this symbol or this. All right, now let's do another one. This one square root of 5n minus 4 minus 9 equal to 0. So we have a plus 9 on both sides, and we get a square root of 5n minus 4 equals to 9, right? So we're going to square both sides. 5n minus 4 equals to 81. We add the 4, 5n, 85, multiplied by the reciprocal, n is equal to 85 divided by 5, 17. So we need to check the 17. So we have 5 times 17 minus 4, that's a square root, minus 9. We need to find out if it's equal to 0. 5 times 17, 85 minus 4, minus 9. This is 81. This is 9 minus 9 is 0. So yes. Okay. Remember, we always need to isolate the square root. Now, look at this one. That is cubic root, okay? So what we do here, we're gonna cube both sides, okay? So we take because it's a cubic root. So I get 2x minus 6. 4 times 4, 16 times 4, 64. Plus let me add the 6. So this is 2x equals 270, right? X equal to 35. And we're going to check that. Oh, 35. So it's 2 times 35 minus 6. So that's 70. 70 minus 6. That will be 64. What's the cubic root of 64? It's 4. So x is the x equal to 35 is the correct answer. Okay. Now, let's do this one. Number 5. So we have 3y plus 6 square root 7y minus 6 square root. Okay. This setup that we see here is ideal because when we have two radical signs, here's the radicals, two roots, we want to have one on each side of the equation, on each side of the equal sign. So let me write that down. Whenever there are two radical signs, so we want to have one on each side of the equal sign. All right, so now let's do so we're going to take, we're gonna square both sides. So we get 3y plus 6 equals to 7y minus 6. So what do we need to do? Combine like terms, right? So I'm going to subtract the 3y and I get 4y minus 6. I'm going to add the 6. I get 12 4y multiplied by 1 over 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? Now, let's check that. So we have 3 times 3 plus 6. 7 times 3 minus 6. This is 9 plus 6. 21 minus 6. 9 plus 6 is 15, right? And 21 minus 6 is 15 too. So this is the answer. Now let's do one where we need to isolate the square root. X minus 2 equal to 4. we need to isolate the radical first. Then we square. There are a couple ways to do this. One of them is we could add. Let's do it this way. Hold on. Let me subtract the x on both sides. So what do we have? Negative x minus 2 equals to 4 minus x, right? But I don't want to have that negative there. So all I need to do is multiply by -1, both sides. So then I have here x minus 2, and I have here x minus 4. Now I'm going to square. I isolate the radical first. I did that. Then I'm going to square. What I get from here is x minus 2. And this one, what is this one? This is equal to x minus 4 times x minus 4. And what is x minus 4? X minus 4 times x minus 4. Times x minus 4. When we multiply this, we get x squared minus 8x plus 16. All right, so now we are going to subtract x on both sides. Notice that I'm doing everything at once. I don't want to write anymore. There we go. So what do I get? This is 0 equals to x squared minus 9x plus 18. What do we have here? We need two numbers, and when I multiply, I get 18, and when I add, I get 9. That will be 6 and 3, right? If the both are negative, my multiplication would be positive, and addition would be negative. Perfect. So what do I have? X minus 6 equal to 0, x minus 3 equals to 0. X is equal to 6, and x is equal to 3. But now we need to find out, we need to check both of them. So we're going to check x equal to 6. So let's go back here, and we have 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And 4 is equal to 4. So far, x equal to 6 is one of the answers. Let's go and see if x equal to 3 is another answer. So it's 3 minus 2 equals to 4. Oh, I don't think it is. So it's only x equals to 4, the answer. Okay? Now, look at this one. This is y plus 3 minus y minus 3 equals to 1. Oh my God. So what we need to do is isolate the radicals. So we're going to add y minus 3, add y minus 3, right? But what do I get when I do that? I get y plus 3 equals to 1 plus the square root of y minus 3, right? Now, I need to square both sides. Right? So then this one, we get y plus 3. From here, it's just like the one that we just did, x minus 4. We have to multiply this. We know. Let me do it in another. Piece of paper. So we have 1 plus square root of y minus 3 times 1 plus the square root of y minus 3, right? So let's distribute this. 1 times 1 plus y minus 3 plus y minus 3. This one is square. What do we get? What is inside, right? So we have 1 plus 2y minus 3 plus y minus 3. And yes, I can combine these ones. All right? Now, let me write this down over here. Y, 1 plus 2y minus 3 plus y minus 3. Now, what do? We combine like terms, right? That's what we're going to be doing there. So we get this is 1 minus 3. Y minus 3 is negative 2 plus y minus 3, right? I combine these two. That's what I did there. Now we're gonna keep combining, and we're gonna have to move everything to one side. No, not everything to one side. We keep combining like terms. So I'm moving this one to the side, minus y plus 2, minus y plus 2. So what I get here, this makes us 0. So I get a 5 is equal to the square root of y minus 3. And it looks like we need to what? Square again. We need to square again. So let's do it. So this is what? 25 equals to y minus 3. You know what? I forgot these two that we have here. These two that we have here. Okay? So that 2 there becomes 4, right? 2 to the second power becomes 4. And now we have 4 times y, 4y, 4 times negative 3, negative 12. Now, we're going to combine like terms, and we get 37 equals to 4y. If I divide, multiply by the reciprocal, we get y equals to 37 over 4. And we're just going to leave it there. I'm just doing this in the calculator, okay? Hold on. Yeah, I just checked, and that's the answer. Yeah, you get 2 over 2. Now, let's do another one. This is very close to, I don't know if we want to do more of the, let's do it. Okay, we have 2x plus x plus 1 equals to 8. So let me write it down again. what we could do right away is isolate, right, the square root. So we have square root of x plus 1 equals to 8 minus 2x. Now we're going to square root. First we isolate, then we square root. So we get x plus 1, and this one is going to be what? 8 minus 2x times 8 minus 2x. And that's 64 minus 32x plus 4x squared. When you guys do that, you distribute this. So now let's combine like terms. And what do we get? 4x squared minus 33x plus 63. Right here, we gotta apply the Bax method. Okay? I'm just going to write it down here so you guys have it. But this is 4x squared and this is 63. So you need a number that when you multiply it, which is 252x squared multiplied, and when you add, you get negative 33x. And those two numbers are negative 12x and negative 21x. So we get x minus 3 from here, and we get 4x minus 21. So this is 4x minus 21, and this is x minus 3 equal to 0. So we have 4x minus 21 equal to 0 and x minus 3. We add 21, multiply by the reciprocal, and we just keep it as a fraction, okay? And this one is x equal to 3. Now we need to check both of them. So let's check to check it, I'm going to divide this two, and it's going to be 5.25. So I have 2 times 5.25 plus 5.25 plus 1 equal to 8. This will give me 10.5. This will be 6.25 square root. The square root of 6.25 is 2.5. And adding these two numbers, sorry, that now gives me the 8. So this is not one of the answers. Let's go and check the other one. So this one is going to be 2 times 3 plus 3 plus 1. So this is 6. This is square root of 4. 8 plus 2 is equal to 8. So x equal to 3 is one of the answers. Now, so go ahead and write it down, guys. All right. So now we are going to do some word problems. So we've been given this formula. It says the formula V equals square root of 2gs gives the velocity, right? Give the velocity. And velocity V is feet per second, okay, of an object when it falls. H, this is the height, and it's in feet, and is accelerated by gravity. And gravity is G, and the units are feet per square second. Okay? So they're saying that if G is 32 feet per square second, they want us to find how far an object has fallen if its velocity is 80 feet per second. So go ahead and write that down and we'll do the exercise. So they're giving me the formula. Velocity is equal to 2 times the gravity times the height, square root of that, right? They are giving me the velocity, which is 80 feet per second. And they're giving me the gravity, But what do I need to find? I need to find the height. Okay, but I have the velocity and I have the gravity. So let me substitute the numbers. Velocity is 80 feet per second. The gravity is 32. So what do I have? I have 80. 32 times 2 is 64. What do I do now? I'm going to square both sides. The only way to get rid of the square root. 80 times 80 is 6,400, and this one is 64 times 8. Perfect. Now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, right? So h is equal to what? To 100 feet. All of the terms were given. We just needed to find the height. In order to do that, I need to square both sides to get rid of the square root or the radical side. Look at this one. Wow. Okay. Let me just show you this one. Um, mhm. This is another word problem. It says, oh no, right here. A police department or department, police department find it very useful to be able to approximate the speed of a car when they are given the distance that the car skidded before it came to a stop. Skid. And if the road surface is wet concrete, here is the function. Here's the equation. Where S of x is the speed of the car in miles per hour, and x is the distance skid in feet. And they want us to find how fast the car was moving if it skid 280 feet on wet concrete. So what do we have? We have the equation that they're giving us. That is this one, right? We need to find when x is equal to 280. So it's 10.5 times what? 280. And the square root. So when I multiply this, what I get is 2,940. And what's the square root of 2,940? 54. Okay. I would say it's 54 miles. Uh-huh. 54 miles. That would be the speed of the car. 54 miles per hour. And this is the N, or 8.6 and 8.7.